community. So the more we can delegate to village panchayats or to urban councils, the better it would be. And because we talked about governance earlier, one of the critical aspects of governance is also participation.
That's right.
People coming together to solve their own problems. So I think what he's saying is really correct. That
especially if you talk about the decentralized level, do you feel that we are seeing, decentralization of power, but we're not seeing much decentralization, devolution of funds? Is that one reason which is actually holding back the power from people?
Yes, I think resources at local levels are still very scarce. But even whatever resources are there could be utilized better. Again, a third aspect of governance, transparency. How much is being provided for each school? Where does that money go? Why do the teachers not show up? How can we make the best use of the resources that we have by really empowering people to demand
the transparency, corruption, these are issues.
Yeah. But actually, administratively itself, a very significant amount of resources are now going to the Gram Panchayat. It's important that, there is some transparency about the amount of money that Gram Panchayats actually control. It should be possible that in the Gram Sabha, it should be announced as to how much resources are now getting transferred. Compared to 5 years ago, there are much more resources now currently being transferred. So, and what is necessary is actually that people should actually get together and demand that the Gram Sabha
people should start demanding their rights, and especially the caste dynamics that come into play. When you talk about especially the giving away of these funds. It's now time for us to take a short break. In our final segment, we'll talk about what's the road ahead and what needs to be done. Stay with us.
सड़कों पर चलते रिक्शे से भारत के नक्शे को नापता हुआ आम इंसान, रोजी की रस्सी पर चलकर देश की सत्ता को साधता हुआ आम इंसान, हर मुद्दे का हिस्सा होते हुए भी उसकी खबर रह जाती है आम। आपसे जुड़ा मुद्दा अब होगा खास। सिर्फ लोकसभा टेलीविजन पर हर रविवार शाम 7 बजे विशेष आम इंसान से जुड़ी खास पेशकश।
अब पाइए गोरापन सिर्फ 5 मिनट में।
अब 20 किलो वजन घटाइए सिर्फ 10 मिनट में।
घने और सुंदर बाल सिर्फ 1 दिन में।
अब 5 मिनट में गोरे और 10 मिनट में दुबले नहीं होंगे। चलाओ अपना दिमाग, चलाओ।
ग्राहक जागो,
जांचो परखो तभी अपनाओ।
भ्रमित करने वाले विज्ञापनों के जाल में ना आओ।
जागो ग्राहक, जागो।
Welcome back. You are watching Public Forum, and we are discussing the UN Millennium Development Goals 2015. In the final segment, we discuss what needs to be done. How do we ensure better accountability, better governance, less corruption in the context of MDGs? How long is the distance India has to travel to achieve these targets? What is really standing in the way? How pessimistic, how optimistic, and how realistic are we in achieving the Millennium Development Goals? But before that, I have a caller with me from Jharkhand, Vineet Kumar. Yes, Mr. Kumar, please ask your question.
Hello.
Yes, sir, please ask your question.
हाँ मैडम, नमस्कार सबसे पहले आपको और पैनलिस्ट को। मेरा ये क्वेश्चन है मैडम, सबसे पहले तो थोड़ा ट्रैक करके चेंज करके मैं पूछना चाहूंगा। आप इतने आप इतने सीरियस टॉपिक पे बात कर रहे हैं, जो कि हमारे देश की जनता यहाँ गांव में रहती है। 80% लोग गांव में रहते हैं और इंडिया के सिर्फ 5% लोग ही मुश्किल से बमुश्किल से हिंदी बोल पाते हैं, समझ सकते हैं। और उस भाषा में आप इतने सीरियस टॉपिक को यदि डिस्कस कर रहे हैं तो मेरे ख्याल से ये उन लोगों के लिए जायज नहीं होगा जो इतने सीरियस टॉपिक को आप यदि डिस्कस कर रहे हैं तो उन लोगों को भी समझ में आना चाहिए क्या कि आप उसके लिए क्या बात कर रहे हैं, नहीं कर रहे हैं, सो दैट कि वो भी अपने अधिकारों को जान। हेलो।
Thank you, Mr. Vineet, for your suggestion as well as for your concern. We also have a Hindi program which is known as Lok Manch, and we show it on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and we raise similar issues. So please, the Hindi version of the program, you can see it on Monday, Wednesday and Friday. Thanks very much for your suggestion. Coming to you, Mr. Mehrotra, this is our final segment. We're talking about what needs to be done. But before that, look at the sectoral issues, the health, education, gender. How do you see our priorities being placed here and how well we have performed?
Well, we know that per capita calorie consumption has actually been declining. So hunger is a massive problem. Thankfully, we will have a right to food bill and a right to food act in the next 6 months. We will hopefully through that ensure that enough grain is available to all below poverty line households. In the next few months, we will also go through a process of identifying the poor correctly. We have been identifying the poor very badly in the past 5 or 7 years, and that hopefully will ensure that those who are not only the most needy but the eligible, the correctly eligible, are actually going to receive grain. But more than that, we also need to sort of reform the PDS. We also need to reform the integrated child development scheme. That's the next big item on our agenda. Otherwise, we will never be able to reduce child malnutrition. And we have among the worst child malnutrition rates in the world, worse than in Africa. So there is no way that we will ensure inclusive growth and improved health status as our children grow up to become adults and become part of the labor force, unless we reduce malnutrition. And in order to do that, the third thing which we have to do is to improve access to safe sanitation. That doesn't mean building toilets. It means changing mindsets. And we have the right program. We have the money. It's essentially that we have to change the design of the Total Sanitation Campaign in order to ensure that its focus is on changing mindsets, so that people, if they build a toilet, they actually use it. If 5 people build a toilet in a village, but 95 people still are defecating in the open, that's not good enough, because that's still a health hazard.
We have to change mindset, as well as we need to rework many of our basic schemes, especially ICDS, which we have been running for last 35 years. I have a caller with me from New Delhi, Manish Mitra. Yes, Mr. Mitra, please ask your question.
Yeah, my question is to Ms. Agarwal. Ma'am, to what extent do you feel that the federal structure of India is an impediment to attaining the Millennium Development Goal, one? And second, that when we talk about active citizenship, a lot of investment has to go into civic education and civic literacy and all those things. But we don't find many of the organizations coming forward to do that. So what would be your response on that, ma'am?
Thank you very much, Mr. Mitra, for your question. The federal nature of the country especially, is it an impediment in the implementation of different schemes, as we were discussing earlier as well? And secondly, how do you look at, as what he said about the implementation of different schemes?
I think the two parts are related. The federal structure could be a strength. As I said, when we decentralized and we let states implement much more of their own development agenda, you could see the better governed states moving ahead and the lagging states beginning to fall behind. To me, that is related to the active citizenship agenda. The people of these lagging states need to understand that development is their priority, and as we were saying, make development the political issue and vote accordingly in those states. That is what is missing. How do we do it? It's a huge challenge. We really believe that Indians, for whatever reason, especially the middle class Indians, are not actively participating in the development of their country. And we spend a lot of time and effort engaging with them. We need to do it, all Indian NGOs to do it. In that sense, relating back to the aid question, it's almost a blessing in a way that we have to look for resources within our country, because till the time the resources were flowing rather easily from overseas, we didn't really bother to engage the middle class. So I think if we can get people marching on the streets for the development agenda, you will begin to see very quickly that the federal structure is really a big asset.
So there's a strong role of the civil society organizations as well as the NGOs in actually building up this active citizenship which we are talking about. Do you agree with this?
Yes, I'm sure that the civil society organizations have now gained a very prominent place in the society. In fact, the government recognizes it and all the institutions recognize it. But I would like to, that if we want to really overcome this several issue that we face, that one is that we need to dislodge the district decision-making system. everything comes to the district collector, which has to deal with 1,000 things, and which is beyond the capacity of a single district collector. So we need to look at that the decision making at the district level. This is really very critical. The second issue, that when we are talking of these 7 MDGs, including the 8, then in India particularly, we need to really focus on universalizing the health, education, food security and all that with clear focus.